who says you need to spend a ton of money for a good bolt gun? Not all great rifles have to have a high price. There are some budget-friendly bolt-action rifles out there that shoot like a champ and don't have to be a struggle. In this video, we'll talk about 7 of the most affordable bolt-action rifles for 2025, ones you should really consider for your next hunt. Real quick, we'd like to thank you for all the love and support you've shown our channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. It helps us pay the bills so we can keep making these videos for you. Alright, let's get started. Number 7. Winchester XPR. You might already know the legendary Model 70 from Winchester, but if you haven't heard of the XPR, it's worth a closer look. This rifle has emerged as Winchester's fresh bolt-action design after decades of relying on the classics. It's got an MSRP of $630, but you can expect it to often dip to around $500 in many gun shops. So why it's worth considering is because even with its budget price, it's got some solid updated features. You won't see any fancy frills just for show. Instead, Winchester zeroed in on practicality, equipping this rifle with a short 60-degree lift on its 3-lug bolt to give you quicker cycling. They also gave the bolt a corrosion-resistant coating, which means you can keep shooting in rainy or icy conditions without worrying about rust or gunk. If you appreciate a good trigger, the XPR brings Winchester's MOA system. Shooters have mentioned how easy it is to adjust, and many say it has a crisp break even before fine-tuning. This helps with consistent groups and builds confidence in your shot placement. The synthetic stock also offers stiff support, so you aren't dealing with unwanted flex when you take aim. Winchester made sure the XPR fits nearly every need in the hunting world. You find smaller chamberings like 223 Remington and move up to larger hitters like 300 Winchester Magnum. Barrel lengths vary, so you can choose a package that suits deer hunting in thick timber or open country elk pursuits. It's common to see sub-MOA discussions online, especially when folks use hand loads or higher-end factory ammo. The detachable magazine feeds reliably and isn't fussy in extreme conditions. Most comments point out the rifle's reliable action and how you can run it smoothly without spending a fortune. Number 6. Mossberg Patriot Synthetic Scoped Combo. Mossberg made a name for itself with shotguns like a 500 series, but the Patriot line proves they can deliver reliable budget rifles as well. If you've been shopping for a straightforward rig that's ready to go right out of the box, the Patriot Synthetic Scoped Combo might be worth a glance. There's a reason you see these combos fly off the shelves. You get a durable synthetic stock, an adjustable trigger, and a fluted barrel that helps shave weight and manage heat. Mossberg adds a spiral fluted bolt to keep cycling smooth, and they top it off with a Vortex Crossfire 2 3x9x40 scope. The last part is a bonus since Vortex scopes are pretty good, especially for the price. Not to mention, they offer great customer support. The MSRP may be around $631, but you can often find it for $500, sometimes less, especially when it goes on sale. That puts an accurate rifle with a decent optic into the same price realm as some bare-bones rifles from competing brands. If you do a bit of research, you'll find plenty of folks raving about the Patriot's out-of-the-box accuracy. Some even claim sub-MOA groups, which seems almost too good to be true for a rifle in this price range, but I doubt they're making it up. The adjustable LBA trigger definitely plays a role in that. You can tweak the pull weight from 2 to 7 pounds, and a clean, crisp trigger like this can really be the difference between average groups and tight cloverleaf clusters. Many owners appreciate the included Vortex scope. You aren't stuck with a cheap optic that fails after one season. Instead, you've got something that can hold zero and provide a clear sight picture in decent light conditions. The synthetic stock might not feel like top-shelf polymer, but it's better than most standard offerings. All that said, it does have some drawbacks. You might hear a few complaints about the plastic parts in the detachable magazine. Some folks prefer metal, but this design keeps the rifle affordable, so I'm not complaining. Number 5. Savage 110 Apex Hunter XP. Savage has been in the game a long time, especially with its Model 110 series. If you've looked into budget-friendly rifles before, chances are you've already heard good things about the Savage brand. The 110 Apex Hunter XP package builds on decades of proven performance, wrapping everything you might need into one box. Savage partnered with Vortex for the optic, so like the Mossberg I talked about earlier, you're getting a 3x9x40 Crossfire 2 scope attached to a one-piece EGW rail. After it's bore-sighted from the factory, you could, in theory, head out to your favorite range and fine-tune zero that same day. The rifle's AccuTrigger has also won fans, offering a crisp break that can be tuned down to around 2.5 pounds if you want a lighter pull. That user-friendly trigger design has been a real game-changer. If you're used to heavy or gritty triggers, the AccuTrigger may feel like a revelation. It helps you shoot more accurately and improves your overall experience behind the rifle. As far as calibers and configurations, if you head on over to the company website, you'll find that there are more than 20 available calibers in this series, so there's a good chance your go-to cartridge is in the lineup. Barrel lengths start at 18 inches for certain cartridges and go up to 24 inches in others. The detachable box mag loads easily, and feeding issues are rare. You also have an adjustable length of pull, so if you are wearing heavy winter layers or prefer a shorter setup, you can tweak it to your liking. People who have shot the Model 110 Apex Hunter XP love that it's capable of sub-MOA groups, even with factory ammo. They also mention the scope is reliable for typical hunting ranges. Personally, I wish the stock had more flair, but this is a budget bolt gun, so I'm not complaining. With its relatively low MSRP of $729 to $839, looks have to take a back seat to function. Number 4. Howa 1500. I originally came across the Howa 1500 through word of mouth and online discussions about underrated bolt guns. Howa is a Japanese manufacturer, and this Model 1500 has a solid reputation for super accuracy and reliability, especially considering its low price of just $500 to $600. Howa forges its barrels using a hammer forging method that promotes longevity and consistent bore dimensions. If you like a good factory trigger, you'll appreciate the two-stage design, typically set around a nice 3-pound pull with hardly any creep. The steel action and M16 style extractor further enhance reliability, and the 90-degree bolt throw is something many shooters are used to. When you compare it to other rifles in the same price bracket, you'll notice the Howa 1500 is often praised for its out-of-the-box smoothness. It may not rival custom rifles costing thousands, but you're definitely getting more than you might expect from a standard economy option. As far as accuracy, the Howa 1500 is capable of sub-MOA groups too, though you might see around 1 MOA more often, depending on your ammo and environmental conditions. If you find the factory stock a bit plain or want to push accuracy further, aftermarket upgrades abound. Triggers from Timney and Rifle Basics fit nicely, and various chassis and stocks from KRG or HS Precision also cater to your preference. Some folks even re-barrel these actions for specialized builds. My only gripe, which is really just a minor nitpick, is that the included stock feels generic. It's functional, but if you care more about a premium look or a certain style of ergonomics, you may want to upgrade. Another consideration is that some folks encounter 1.5 MOA groups with budget ammo, which might not satisfy advanced long-range shooters. However, for average hunting distances and regular range work, the Howa 1500 is still a good bolt gun for the money. Number 3. Bergara B14 Hunter. Bergara might not be the oldest name in the industry, but the company quickly earned a serious following because of its high-quality barrels. Competitive shooters mention Bergara all the time, and the B14 Hunter aims to offer that same accuracy to people who are working within a sensible budget. The B14 Hunter is usually priced under $900. That makes sense when you consider the build quality. You also receive a synthetic stock with a soft touch finish. This helps you keep a firm hold on the rifle even if you're wearing gloves or the weather gets sloppy. The recoil pad is designed to handle heavier calibers well, so if you pick something like 300 Win Mag, your shoulder won't hate you after a long day. Bergara's action borrows cues from the Remington 700 pattern. which means you're not stuck searching for rare or expensive parts. If you need bases, triggers, or other enhancements, you'll probably find them without a hassle. The included trigger, set between 2 and 4 pounds, has a crisp release. You can adjust it if you want a lighter pull or prefer a bit more resistance. The hinged foreplate holds 3 to 4 rounds depending on the chambering, and the bolt glides back and forth with minimal play. Many owners talk about how smooth it is, which boosts confidence when you're lining up a critical shot. Accuracy is where this thing really shines. Shooters all over the interwebs report sub-MOA accuracy all the time. Some can even shoot .7-inch groups at 100 yards with certain factory loads. The only minor nitpick is, unsurprisingly, the stock's simple styling. But that's typical for synthetic rifles meant to handle rough hunts. Number 2. Weatherby Vanguard Synthetic. Weatherby might ring a bell if you've ever checked out premium hunting rifles. But the Vanguard Synthetic proves the company also caters to more cost-conscious shooters. This model typically falls below $550 MSRP, and street prices do sometimes come in even lower. You get Weatherby's reputation for consistent quality, plus a few design perks you'd usually associate with higher-tier rifles. Now, the Weatherby Vanguard Synthetic might be a budget rifle, but it's no slouch. It's got a cold hammered forged barrel with a sub-MOA guarantee. Not every rifle maker offers that kind of written assurance. You're looking at an adjustable trigger that normally breaks around 3 pounds, so there's no major guesswork when you're trying to tighten up your group sizes. The synthetic stock has the Monte Carlo shape, which helps manage recoil and gives you a comfortable cheek weld. Combine that with a recoil pad that absorbs some shock, and you have a rifle that's fairly easy on your shoulder. Unlike certain rifles that cut corners on internal parts, the Vanguard features a flat bottom receiver with an integral recoil lug and a one-piece machined bolt. That usually leads to stronger durability over time. If you ever want to rebarrel or modify the rifle, the threaded receiver design simplifies matter. The hinged foreplate magazine holds around 5 rounds in standard calibers, which is more than enough for typical hunting scenarios. You'll also appreciate the smooth bolt throw and how easy it is to load and unload. The open top receiver is another plus, especially if you ever need to clear a jam. That said, jamming seems rare based on owners' feedback, so it's just a convenience feature more than anything. Speaking of owners, a huge majority of them confirm this rifle is capable of sub-MOA accuracy, whether they're shooting .308 Win, .30-06, or other popular caliber. Some even get groups well below an inch at 100 yards with the right ammo. Number 1. Tikka T3x Lite. And last but not the least is the T3x Lite by Tikka, a finished firearms maker owned by Seiko. They're well known in the PRS community for producing consistent, accurate rifles that don't require you to spend a fortune. The T3x Lite sits in that sweet spot of affordability and top-notch machining, making it a bestseller among hunters who want something reliable they can carry into rough terrain. The T3x Lite usually weighs around 6.4 pounds, give or take, depending on the caliber. That's a big plus if you hike a lot or roam hilly ground chasing elk, mule deer, or other game. The barrel is hammer forged and does a good job maintaining accuracy. Like most synthetic stocks, the T3x Lite stock might not look too flashy, but it can handle rain, cold, or any other challenge Mother Nature throws your way. There's a single-stage trigger that's adjustable from around 2 to 4 pounds. You'll have to remove the stock to make changes, but once you get the pull weight set to your liking, you'll likely be pleased by how crisp it feels. Smooth bolt action is one reason so many shooters hold Tikka in high regard. The T3x offers a 75-degree lift, which helps you cycle rounds without your scope getting in the way. The detachable magazine holds 3+1 in most chambering, and reloading is quick and painless. This helps you when you're at the range or if you're taking follow-up shots in the field. Reports of this rifle achieving sub-MOA groups with factory ammo in common calibers like .308 Win or 6.5 Creedmoor are quite common. Now, there might be some who claim that their T3x Lite achieves slightly larger groups when shooting heavier Magnum cartridges, but even then, it's still impressive for a factory rifle in this price range. If you're willing to hand load or experiment with different brands of ammo, you might shrink your groups further. And that's all I've got for you today. If you couldn't tell, I've got a soft spot for the Tikka T3x Lite. But I'm curious, did any of these rifles catch your eye? Maybe you even own one of them. If you do, drop a comment and share what you love about your bolt gun. While you're at it, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on more videos like this. Happy shooting!